Waterdon Canyon. The plan was to take the Highline Canal Trail, but apparently the first 8 miles of Highline are now private property, and they're closed, and there are signs up for no trespassing. So, looking for an alternate. I saw a single track coming off of the Highline, so I took that as heading the right direction. Ended up turning into kind of a bushwhack. Not too bad. Merged through that into this field of construction. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I've been trying to kind of navigate this. So I finally found this road here I'm on, and Google Maps has a route for me over to Waterdon. So should be there in a couple hours to hit the northern terminus of Colorado Trail, finally. Ready to get up in the mountains. Finally made it to Waterdon Canyon. 30 miles or so on the watch. Looking forward to putting my feet in the river and hiking the last 8 miles to camp for tonight. Looking forward to being on the trail finally. Laying down on a picnic table, maybe a mile into Waterdon Canyon. Feel pretty tired from the heat. But yeah, I'm gonna push on another 7 miles today and camp out for the night. Ready to be done though, I can say that. So finally laying down to camp, end of day 1. Super long day. Ended up doing about 38.5 miles from Lone Tree. Made it to the top of Lenny's Rest here out in segment 1 of the Colorado Trail. Got pretty hot during the day. My legs got kind of burnt, even though I applied sunscreen, reapplied. I don't know, I think just one of those days, but fortunately that should be the hottest day. I know there's some exposure, at least sun exposure tomorrow in segment 2 in the burned area, but shouldn't be as bad. And less miles tomorrow will be nice. Only planned about 27 to 28 for tomorrow, so that'll be good. Yeah, it feels super good to lay down finally. It's getting pretty sleepy. Walking up Waterdon Canyon. I'm gonna try to get a good 8 hours in. It's 9:30 right now, so yeah, then I'll be hitting segment 2 tomorrow. So walking through this burned area, about 2 miles, maybe a little less left in segment 2. Pretty happy with my progress so far for today. Sun's beaten down, but compared to yesterday, kind of feels a little chilly. It's not cold, but yesterday was tough. But today, not so bad. We'll be happy to get into the shade though. So yeah, about maybe another 10 miles or so to where I'm gonna camp tonight. It's only maybe 1:30 right now, so should be a pretty easy afternoon, which will be nice. So I'm about 9 miles or so into segment 3, the Colorado Trail. Started at segment 1 today. All of segment 2, obviously. Segment 2 is through this burned area, so it got pretty sunny. Not as hot as yesterday, thankfully, but still a lot of sun. It took me maybe 3.5 hours to get through that section today. And then got to camp pretty early, around 6, so that was good. Chance to let my feet rest and just kind of kick back. It's been like 66 miles or something the last 2 days, which is crazy. It's a lot for me, but another 26 or so for tomorrow. I think I got a little bit of sun poisoning. Is that even a thing today? Started to feel just a little weird. Maybe it's the altitude, but I don't know. I feel like I'm acclimatized, but at this point, I think it's the sun. So, try to keep the sunscreen on, and been using the buff to keep my head protected, but hopefully we'll have some good shade tomorrow. I know segment 4 goes to a meadow, so that'll be pretty exposed, but I think it's not quite as long as segment 2 was. But yeah, tomorrow should be another good day out here on the Colorado Trail. So just laid down at the end of day 3.
was a pretty good day out there today. Did about 4 miles more than I'd planned on. Was gonna do 26, but felt good. And did about 30 and a half today or so. One of the things I've really enjoyed about the trail so far is just how often the character of it changes. Like today, for example, started out, pine forest, and then eventually it opened up into this really, really nice meadow, and you're just going alongside of this creek for about 6 miles. That was really cool. That was segment 4. And then dropped down back into the pine forest, and then came in and out of meadows today in the afternoon. So that's been good. How do I feel? End of the day, I feel pretty tired. These 30-mile days, my feet will hurt from like mile 20 or so on, but I only have another 36 or so to Breckenridge, and that's my first resupply. So gonna try to do probably 25 or so tomorrow, and then have a kind of nice quiet Sunday. So yeah, check back in tomorrow. So end of day 4 on the Colorado Trail. Was an awesome day today. Coming over Georgia Pass, got above tree line for the first time. Great weather, great views. Physically felt great. My feet kind of hurt towards the end, but that's to be expected. I got another 6.7 to go into Breckenridge tomorrow. I'm going to stay at a hostel there, get some hot food, do a resupply. So tomorrow will be a nice break, but I feel like I could just keep doing 30s all day long every day. So it's been pretty good. I got a really sweet campsite tonight with just an unbelievable view. Look at that. Awesome. So I'm about a half mile away from Highway 9, I think it is, about halfway between Breckenridge and Frisco. It's my first town to do a resupply in. So my plan is there's a free bus, take that up to the hostel I'm staying at in Breckenridge, get my mail drop, see what I need, take a shower, which will be super nice. Then take the bus over to the Walmart in Frisco, do my resupply, get some food, some hot food, really looking forward to that. Then go back to the hostel and just hang out the rest of the day. It's only going to be about a little over a 6 mile day today, but that's okay. I've been doing pretty much 30s all the other days, so it'll be a pretty nice break. But half of me wants to go up to the next mountain because the next range looks pretty sick up there, but I'll be out there tomorrow. Just thinking back in the last few days, it's been amazing. This trail has been awesome. It's going to be 134.1 or so since I left my front door in Lone Tree Wednesday morning, and I've just loved how often the trail changes. It's just been so different. Other trails is just the same pretty much the whole way, but this trail has been just such different character all the way through, and really nothing to complain about. Every day has been beautiful, felt great every day, maybe except for Thursday afternoon, but that's ancient history now. So should be a nice relaxing afternoon, and we'll hit back tomorrow. So we're about 14 and a half miles into day 6 out on the Colorado Trail. Stayed at the Baby Hostel, had a good time, almost too good of a time out there. But got back on the trail today around 9:30 maybe. Just did all of segment 7, which was a fantastic segment. Got up and above tree line for a while. It was super windy up there. We're kind of right above the Breckenridge ski resort, but it was absolutely beautiful. Just unreal. Like, I had
goosebumps, not from being cold, but just like realizing where I was and how cool it was to be there in that moment, and just like reflecting kind of on the big picture of this whole endeavor, really, hiking the Colorado Trail. But anyway, now on segment 8, maybe a mile, not even into it, a little bit of a predicament. I can camp in 6 miles, but it's only 3:30 right now. I'd like to hike some more. I feel, especially after not doing much yesterday, I feel pretty good. But we go back above tree line, and apparently there's a campsite in about 9 miles, but that's at like 12,000 feet, and I'm not super stoked about that, camping that high, but we'll see. And the other option is to do the whole traverse above tree line, but it's like 14 miles to get back into the trees. And that would really be pushing daylight, but I can also get the headlamp out. So we'll see what I do. It could be really cool to be up there during sunset, or really cool to be up there first thing tomorrow morning when the sun's coming up. So not really a bad option. I guess a good problem to have. So check back in after I decide what I'm gonna do. So we're here maybe 7 miles in to section 8 of the Colorado Trail. Just made camp. There's my tent. Clothes I wear hanging up. Just kind of air out the funk. About to eat some dinner. Got my water, my clothes, my electronics. The blue one is my toiletries, trash. But before I eat, what I always do is see how dirty my feet are, and my toes especially. So I'll take this rag and a little bit of water and just scrub them out. And usually like to find a campsite with a view. This one, check that box. Just talking about today a little bit. Went really well. Started at 9:30, like I said earlier, on section 7. I think the most amount of climbing today, really by far. That was the steepest climb and the steepest descent, going over that 10-mile range. So that was a lot of fun. And then climbed back up by Copper Mountain, and now I'm camping just at the edge of the tree line. So first thing tomorrow should be going up and over the tree line, which will be awesome. So gonna get ready for kind of a chilly night tonight. Hopefully it doesn't get too cold, but should be warm in my bag, so it'll all work out. But yeah, now to clean off my feet and eat some dinner. So descending from Kokomo Pass right now. Yesterday I said that I might try to get over this yesterday evening. Decided not to do that, and I'm kind of glad I did. I've been hiking for almost 2.5 hours now, and that would have made it pretty dark coming down where I am right now. And also, when I was hiking up to the crest of the 10-mile range yesterday, I tweaked my ankle. I tweaked that ankle a bunch of times, so I didn't think much of it. But when I got up to camp, you see that it's pretty swollen, and it got pretty painful. So I'm just trying to be a little bit more deliberate, maybe taking it just a hair slower. So, but obviously I can keep pressing on. So I don't know how far I'm going to try to go today, but I think I'm going to add in Mount Massive as a little side trip. Should be able to fit that in. So probably do that tomorrow, I'm thinking. Going to try to make a pretty big day today to get close to the trailhead, because I think the trailhead was about 40 miles from where I camped right now, which would make that maybe 35 from where I am right now. So probably won't get all the way there today, but definitely by tomorrow morning. So yeah, that'll be fun. So it's been 1 week on the trail now. Today was day 7. It was a pretty tough day.
Started out great. Woke up, was right at the tree line. First 6 miles or so of today was all above tree line. Perfect weather in the morning. Then came down, and that's when things kind of get interesting. Rolled my ankle again about a tenth of a mile away from this waterfall, so it hurt. And then I took my shoes off, kind of iced it in that ice cold water, and another hiker gave me some ibuprofen. I don't carry any, and I was able to hike on it after that, and it felt pretty good, so hopefully that won't be an issue. Then this afternoon, some rain came in for the first time all week, or the entire time I've been on the trail. Nothing too bad. It was a little just this cold mist up around 11,000 feet. But the worst thing of today was by far the mosquitoes. Segment 9 has just had tons of them. Like every time I stopped, like dozens of them would be swarming around me. Fortunately, the bug spray I carry kept them from biting me for the most part, so that was good. But just having those swarms around you all the time is just ridiculous. So we'll see how long that lasts for, but I'm happy to be in my tent now where they can't get me. So the plan for tomorrow is to climb Mount Massive. This is a little bit of an audible, but hopefully a good one. So right now I'm camped out 12.2 miles away from the Massive turnoff. So I'm going to try to wake up really early, get those 12.2 done by 8:30 at the latest. So it means I really have to start hiking by 5 at the absolute latest. And then it's 3.5 up Massive. So that's the plan for tomorrow. Then we'll kind of see how I feel and where we are after that. It's not too far away from Twin Lakes, and I just need to be there by Thursday, which should be more than doable. So check back in tomorrow. So I'm heading down Massive right now. Got up this morning around 5:30, a little bit later than I wanted to, and it was a 12.2 mile hike over to the Massive trailhead. So I got to the trailhead and started around maybe 11 this morning, and which is really a lot later than I'd like to start a 14er, but weather cooperated. It was a nice, well, pretty tough climb heading up to Massive. Got pretty steep in spots, and then once you got to the saddle there was a decent amount of exposure, but nothing too crazy. So yeah, heading down right now. Once I get back to the trail, I think I'm gonna have a little snack and a siesta, figure out what I want to do. I think the trail intersection is only 10 miles or so from Twin Lakes, is where my next mail drop is. So I don't want to get there tonight. That'd be a little bit too soon. But get there tomorrow morning, have some time to chill, get my mail drop, get anything else I need, and then head on out for the Collegiate Peaks. So it's a good day today, and there's still a little bit left. So laying down at the end of day 9 of the Colorado Trail. Today was a really good day. Started out maybe 4 miles north of Twin Lakes. Hiked down, it was pretty smoky. Got my resupply at the general store. Hung out there for maybe an hour, had a nice PBR and some food. Then hiked around Twin Lakes, had to go the long way around, and then some storms moved in. It was really cool. They're kind of surrounding the lakes, and yeah, it was pretty surreal. And it didn't really rain on me then, just a couple of little drops. And then by the time I got to the start of the Hope Pass climb, the sun was out again. And it stayed out not too much longer after that. at the top of Hope Pass, the clouds came back in and it actually started hailing on me, which was fun, I guess. But my gear stayed dry. I stayed dry for the most part, so that was good. And then headed down the backside of Hope Pass. Also good to be on the Leadville Trail. The rain and hail stopped kind of halfway down Hope Pass, and then I hiked another 5 miles or so to right around Winfield. So it was a really good day. I think tomorrow, thinking about getting up nice and early and hitting another 14er Mount Huron, and then going up and over Lake Ann Pass. So it should be a day full of climbing tomorrow. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll get some good weather tomorrow for that too. So end of day 10. See, I got all my rain gear on. Not because it's raining right now, though it looks like it might, because it's so friggin' buggy out here. Last night wasn't bad, but the 2 nights before that, just tons of mosquitoes everywhere. Rain gear seems to be keeping them from biting me, at least, so that's good. But today itself, did Mount Huron today, a little side trip, a little 14er. It's not so small. And then climbed up to Lake Ann Pass, which is another steep climb. Those 2 climbs really took it out of me today. So yeah, we did about another 9 miles from the top of the pass. I wanted to do more, but I found this campsite and I thought it was going to be not so buggy, but I guess they can smell me and they descend on me. So I don't know. Wonder what the mosquitoes do when people aren't here. Like what do they eat? I don't know. We'll find that out. But yeah, you can check out my dinner there. Pasta, cold soaked, rehydrated. There's some kale in there. It's a little soupy, but it's food, so that's good. But yeah, looking forward to climbing to my tent. Tomorrow, segment 3 of Collegiate West is supposed to be all above tree line. I think 15 miles above tree line. So want to get there early to beat the afternoon weather. Once again, it rained a little bit today, a little bit of hail too. But again, nothing too bad. So get those miles into the morning. So, end of day 11. Today was definitely the toughest day so far for a number of reasons. Number one, I did 30 miles today. Must have went over 7 or 8 different passes. It was incredible. Just easily the most beautiful trail, like for a prolonged section I've ever been on. It was just unreal this morning and into this afternoon. And as I was coming down off the last pass, maybe around 6:30, a storm came in and it rained pretty hard for like a half hour. And I was at maybe 11,500 feet and it got really cold. Like, I put on my rain jacket, which was more than enough to keep me comfortable for the last couple days that it rained in the afternoon. But today, it was just a really cold rain, and I got pretty chilled, and I'm still kind of chilled right now. I got like all my layers on in my sleeping bag right now. So, but fortunately, my sleeping bag stayed dry. And I'm in my tent right now, just kind of drips from the tree above me falling on my tent. So hopefully the sun will be out tomorrow and really warm things up. But yeah, it's kind of scary when you get that chilled and you're just out here with what's on your back, basically, and you have to trust your skills and your equipment to, survive. Like if you're out here with inadequate gear or skills, it doesn't take long for hypothermia to set in. So happy to be as warm as I am right now, much warmer than I was before. I couldn't even unbuckle the push tab things on my strap. My hands were so cold. So yeah, crazy day today. So tomorrow the plan is wake up and it's 18 miles to Monarch Pass. So we'll see how long it takes to get there. Probably 7 to 8 hours. I don't really know. Maybe not quite that many. We'll see. I just hope the sun is out to warm things up, dry everything out. So until then. So end of day 12. Started out, sun was out. Sun is always out in the morning, which is nice. Still pretty chilled from the night before. But when the sun came out, things dried out pretty quick. I was able to lay out my tent, which was obviously completely soaked, and dry that out. My sleeping bag was just a little bit damp, so I dried that out. And then I hiked about 18 miles to the Monarch Crest gift shop, and that's a really nice place there. I had a mail drop, hung out there for about 2.5 hours. Missed the worst of the rain, it appeared. Had some food, ice cream. Felt pretty well fed for the first time in a few days, which was nice. And then I hiked another 6.5 miles to this shelter, which I think is the only shelter on the whole CT. They're all over the place on the AT, but this is a little different than the ones on the AT. There's no like floorboards, just dirt. But it's dry in here, and I didn't have to set up my tent, so that was kind of nice. Yeah, about the rain, seems like every afternoon, at least the last 4 or 5 days, the rain's coming in, and it seems to be getting worse. I didn't get quite as dumped on as yesterday, but it's a challenge I'm really going to have to work on, both mentally and physically, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word. But it's just a matter of like when the clouds do form, to be ready for them, to be prepared, to get through. I have the adequate gear. It's just a matter of like getting it on, in time before you get soaked to the bone and chilled to the bone. Yeah, I think I said before that lightning was my biggest fear out here. I don't think that's true. My biggest fear is hypothermia and getting wet and cold. So, yeah, that'll be my top priority the rest of the way, is to avoid what happened to me yesterday, where my hands are so cold I couldn't even unbuckle the straps on my pack. So, yeah. But tomorrow should be another good day. Gonna cut back the miles, I think, just a little bit, from 30 maybe down to mid to high 20s. I did about 25 today, but I did take a 2.5 hour break. So, yeah, check back in tomorrow. So end of day 13, did about 26 miles today. Was getting pretty tired towards the end, and the trail really took on a totally different nature today. Definitely out of the big mountains of the Sawatch Range, and I guess we're kind of in this intermediary part of the trail to get to the next mountain range. I'm not really sure, but I mean, there were some cool parts. There's some cool views. We're kind of up on a ridge. It kind of reminded me of the AT a little bit, where you're kind of in trees, but you're still on a ridge, and every once in a while you have a cool view. But the big difference today was that the trail is getting much, much drier, meaning that there's much fewer places to get water from. Fortunately, I'm camped by this lake. I don't know if you can see it behind me. So I have water there, have water for tomorrow, but tomorrow the plan is to do only 22 miles, but those miles seem like they're going to be pretty dry. So I'm going to leave here with a full 4-liter capacity, and we'll see, looking at gut hooks and the data book, these water sources in the next 22 miles are kind of hit or miss. Also pretty buggy here again by the lake, but I kind of expected that camping by a lake, so rather deal with the bugs than have water than not have water. So yeah, so tomorrow should be interesting. We'll see what the trail does. Supposed to go through a lot of cow pastures and things like that, but hopefully there's water. Yeah, it's just, something different every day. So end of day 14, pretty good day on the trail. 2 full weeks on the trail. Hard to believe already, but did about 27.5 miles today. Miles were pretty easy. Segment 18, just at the start of 19 right now. 18 was pretty flat. I was able to do the miles really fast. I'd only planned on doing 22 today, but it was so easy, so I decided to do more. It's pretty dry. That was a big challenge of today. The sun, of course, was beating down most of the afternoon, but you know, I managed. Probably carried more water than I needed to, but you know, I'd rather be safe than sorry. And then about maybe 2.5 miles back from here, there was some trail magic. So someone left out some water, some Gatorade. No food though, which is a bit of a disappointment. And I saw the guy's truck pull away as I was coming down the hill, so too bad I didn't get to meet him. That would have been cool. But yeah, start of segment 19 right now. Gonna try to do maybe 22 tomorrow, get up to San Luis Saddle, I think it's called. And then on Thursday, today's Tuesday, do San Luis Peak. And then Friday, I'm gonna take a Nero and get my resupply in Lake City. So next few days should be less miles. Let's show my food here. This is a quinoa. There's some carrots and broccoli in there. I dehydrated a couple months ago and rehydrated it. It tastes pretty good right now. Maybe I'm just that hungry, but I think it's pretty good. And then check out this view here. Not bad, not bad. So should be back into the big mountains tomorrow, which will be nice. Kind of missed them the last couple days. I think we're just getting from the Sawatch range to the next range. I'm not sure what it's called. I'll try to figure that out though. But yeah, tomorrow should be a good one. And apparently the dry section is over. Cachetoba Creek is in 7 miles, so that'll be good. So day 15, probably hear that it's raining right now. It's only 5 o'clock, but managed to get my tent pitched before it started raining kind of hard, so glad to be warm and dry. It's way more important than, you know, hiking for a few more hours. And the next section, I believe, is pretty much all above tree line. So we're kind of right at the edge of tree line right now at about 11,800. So don't really want to take any chances. Just call it an easy day, and I'll get an early start tomorrow. Hopefully the rain will stop so I can eat and get my bear bag set up. But happy to be in my sleeping bag in my tent right now. Only did about 21 miles today. Again, pretty easy miles. It was a big climb today, but it was pretty steady, just following a river and just another kind of long alpine meadow. And I did see a bull moose today, so that was really cool. So right now we're about 1,000 feet below the saddle for San Luis Peak, which is a 14er. So hopefully tomorrow should be clear in the morning and I can get up there and do a sunrise 14er, especially getting such a early end to today. It should be doable. So yeah, see what happens tomorrow. Look at all these freaking cows. So I forgot to do an update for day 16. It was one of the most magical days out on the trail. I did end up getting up and leaving camp around 4:45 a.m. And then it was just a short hike up to the top of San Luis Peak. So that was a third 14er.
I did as a side trip, and it was absolutely beautiful. You can see those pictures there with the sun coming up. It was absolutely breathtaking. And then the rest of the day was really beautiful trail, mostly above tree line, just up and down, pass after pass, and then I got to the snow mesa, which is just kind of this flat plateau. It's like as flat as Kansas up there, but yeah, it was beautiful. But there were storms kind of all around. There's one to the left of me, there's one to the right of me, and the sun's on me, but there's storms all around. So um, I'm trying to make it to the end of this mesa, and it's like a 3 mile section. I'm trying to go as fast as I can, and as I'm getting near the end, the storm is coming down on me. So maybe 3/10 of a mile from where it finally drops off, I did get hit by the storm. And there was some lightning coming in too. So I just kind of booked it without putting on any of my rain gear until I got off the mesa. Then finally put on my rain gear, and it was 2 miles down to the road, and I ended up hitchhiking into town, which ended up working out pretty well. So kind of just with all the craziness there at the end of this day, I forgot to record an update at the time, so doing this one after the fact. So day 17, taking a zero here in Lake City, Colorado. Pretty small town, kind of Wild West sort of feel, at least on this strip here. But yeah, staying at the Ravens Rest Hostel, a pretty cool place, some pretty interesting people there, a lot of other teachers hiking the trail, which is pretty cool to see. And I'm not the only one out here who had the same idea, which is pretty neat, I guess. But weather's beautiful today. I'm kind of disappointed to be missing this afternoon sunshine, but who knows, it could be dumping down rain up on the trail somewhere. I don't know. But yeah, I kind of itching to get back on the trail already. Did my resupply. Should have plenty of food to get to Durango. It's only another 130 miles. Should be getting a ride back from this guy Matt, his wife tomorrow, who's also staying in town but not at the hostel. So that'll be good to get sort of an earlier start. Yeah, the next section looks like it's pretty exposed, a lot above tree line once again. And we're gonna hit the high point on the trail, which is like 13.1, I think. Even though I've been over 14 3 different times, we'll hit the high point of the actual trail tomorrow. At least we should tomorrow. And water is supposed to be pretty sparse unless you want to hike down a bit, so might be doing a bit of a water carry to start out tomorrow. But yeah, enjoying the rest day, giving my feet some time off, drinking some beers today. It feels good to be fully, have a full meal in my belly and not be hungry really today. Had a big salad for lunch, so that was good. Get some greens, a little healthier than the junk I'm eating on the trail. So yeah, really pumped for the last section to Durango now that the rest of the trail is open. So yeah, it's gonna happen. Gonna thru-hike the entire Colorado Trail.
So end of day 18, did about 23 miles today. Did all of segment 22, and I'm like 5.5 miles into segment 3. I'm camped out by Cataract Lake right now. It's absolutely beautiful. We're at like 12,200 feet, which is the highest I've ever camped. But that'll be fine. Definitely above tree line, and I managed to get my tent pitched, get my sleep clothes on, do everything except eat before it started raining. There was a big thunderhead kind of chasing me. The last few miles I had to climb up to this pass, and it was blue skies. It was really nice. And then I was just coming down. I looked behind me and I could see the dark cloud. But really glad I got my tent pitched in time, so didn't get wet, so I didn't get chilled, which is a big plus. Hopefully it'll stop so I can go outside and eat pretty soon. It's slowed down, it's raining harder, so I look bright off to the other direction, so we'll see. Plan tomorrow, wake up pretty early, set an alarm for 4:30. We'll see how early I actually get started moving, but I'd like to get started before 6 for sure, and try to do 25 to 30, definitely a high 20s type of day tomorrow. Getting close to the end of the trail. Let's see, it says mile 380.1, which I think is about 105 miles left, so we're getting there. So we're at the end of day 19. Did a little over 25 miles today. I was gonna do one more to get down to the Animas River, but I found a really sweet camp spot 25 miles in, right next to this creek, and you can see how strong it's flowing. I hiked the last 7 or 8 miles along the stream, and it's pretty cool to see it pick up. Day itself went pretty well. Had some weather today. It rained most of the afternoon. Started out up high, like 12,000 feet. Rained a lot last night. Rained pretty hard for like 4 hours straight. So my tent was pretty wet. Had some pretty bad condensation in my tent, which made my sleeping bag pretty damp. Fortunately, there was about an hour of sunshine this morning, so I was able to take advantage of that, get my stuff dry, and yeah, it was dry. You gotta have that sleeping bag dry. It makes a huge difference. But the rain has stopped maybe a couple hours ago. There was a time when I was up high, maybe around 1 or 2 o'clock today, where it looked like it was going to storm really, really bad, and I was thinking about just throwing up my tent somewhere and waiting it out, but I'm glad I didn't. I just put on my rain gear, pants, jacket, gloves, even the surgical gloves I picked up about a week ago, put those on over my cotton gloves, and that seemed to work pretty well. Never rained as hard as I thought. There were a couple of kind of loud thunder rattles, and another hiker said they saw lightning pretty close, but only heard the 2 that were pretty loud and didn't hear anything else. So glad I didn't lose that time waiting out a storm that didn't turn out not to be that bad. It looked like it was gonna be bad, but I guess I got lucky. Plan for tomorrow, I don't know, we'll see. So I feel definitely try to do at least 20, probably more, probably another 25. There's only 79.9 miles left, so it should take me, I could do it in three days if I really pushed it. Who knows, I might, but I'll definitely be done with this trail by Thursday morning at the latest. So moving right along, check back in tomorrow. So ended day 20, did a little over 27 miles today, starting maybe 1.5 miles north of the Animas River, and then it was about, I guess, an 18-mile climb up to a pass at about 12,500 feet. Trail was absolutely gorgeous. The weather in the morning was beautiful. Weather most of the day was decent. Rained a little bit coming over the pass, and then down, some thunder rattles, but nothing too bad. Nothing as bad as yesterday, which is good. Camping right now at the beginning of segment 26. So there's only 3 more segments to go and 53 miles to go. So looks like I can finish by Wednesday evening. 53 miles, definitely doable in 2 days. So we'll see what the weather is doing tomorrow. Apparently there's a 3-mile section with a lot of exposure that I'd be hitting in the afternoon. hopefully the weather will be good and I can hit that in the afternoon and we can be done, Wednesday evening. So getting towards the end of day 21 here. Still not sure where I'm going to camp tonight. It's raining right now and there are some really loud thunder cracks. You can probably hear them going on in the background. They're much louder than that. Good thing is some of these pine trees really do provide some good cover. So I've been able to stay pretty dry. I've been trying to wait out this storm for about 20 minutes. It's still sprinkling down. I wanted to get up to Taylor Lake today, which would have been almost a 31-mile day, but I don't think it's going to happen anymore with the way the weather has turned in the afternoon. It was beautiful this morning. Most of the afternoon was good too. But apparently there's a campsite like 0.1 up with an overlook and a bench. So I think I'm just gonna head up there. So it's like 5 o'clock right now, so I'm really in no rush. So try to wait out some of this rain. Looks kind of brighter where the weather is coming from right now. So hopefully I won't have to pitch my tent in the rain, but you know, I'm dry right here. My hands aren't freezing, so that's good. I can stay here really as long as I need to. For tomorrow, trying to make tomorrow the last day on trail. Since I'm not going to be able to make it to Taylor Lake today most likely, that means that, I just checked Guthook, it's 29.9 to the Durango terminus from where I am right now. But since I started my hike out my front door in Lone Tree, I think it's fitting to end it in downtown Denver. And I heard that Carver Brewery in Durango offers free beer to anyone who has just completed a Thru-Hike. And they have a Colorado Trail brown ale or something like that. So I had some service today and I checked the mileage. It's about a 4.7 mile walk from the trailhead. So that would be, 34.6 miles for tomorrow, which would be a really long day. But nothing I haven't done before. So that would mean I would have to wake up and start hiking with the headlamp on, which should make the Indian Ridge, which is supposed to have a lot of exposure, just absolutely beautiful at sunrise. And there shouldn't be any thunderstorms when the sun's coming up, so that'll be good. So just crested the last climb of the Colorado Trail. We have about 10.2 to the official terminus, and then I'm going to hike another 4.7 down to Carver Brewery and a hike in style with a free beer, Colorado Trail nut brown ale, something like that. Sounds really tasty right about now. So last night the storms were pretty bad. It thundered probably for a good 4 hours, lots of hail and rain. So someone's coming on a bike. So I made camp and waited out the rain. Hey there.
Take care, man.
Yep. Haven't seen anyone in like 3 hours. So when I go to make a video, someone comes. But anyway, so right out the rain, got up around 4:30 this morning, started hiking with a headlamp on. I'm over 19.5 miles right now, so should be like 34 miles today, which is gonna be the second most I've done, but all downhill from here, and check back in when I reach the finish. So just arriving at the southern terminus of Colorado Trail right now, and I guess that's it. That's the end. Not really sure. Let me pause my watch. I know how to feel right now. I guess it hasn't really sunk in yet. I'd like to get someone to take my picture by the sign. But yeah, 22 days, over 500 miles. Hell of a journey.